Five Nights at Freddy's. The name alone brings back memories of jump scares, fan theories, and haunted animatronics. But what if I told you that the weirdest entry in the franchise might also be one of the most underrated? When FNAF World released in 2016, fans were confused. This wasn't the horror game they expected. Instead of the game being on the dark side like the other FNAF games were like, it was more colorful, it was cute, it was an RPG. What was Scott Cawthon thinking? When FNAF World launched, it was rough. The game felt unfinished and Scott himself admitted it. He even pulled it from Steam, reworked it, and eventually re-released it for free. But by then, most fans moved on, dismissing it as a failed experiment. However, if you play the updated version, there's a lot of love. The art style flips the franchise on its head, turning terrifying animatronics into adorable cartoonish characters. And the soundtrack is genuinely one of the best in the series. It is catchy, energetic, and memorable. And whenever I start listening to it, it got me feeling like this. And while this looks simple, the game hides a surprisingly amount of depth, with dozens of characters and multiple endings. And of course, this is still FNAF, which means secrets. FNAF World is filled with hidden bosses, glitch worlds, and cryptic storytelling. So why is this game underrated? Well, fans wanted another horror game, right? Well, instead, Scott gave them something playful, weird, and experimental. And while it may not be the scariest FNAF game, but it's one of the most creative. But this game was almost perfect until... To get all of the characters in the game, you need to go through the minigames, and trust me, they are literally the worst addition in the game. There are 5 minigames in total. There are FNAF 57, Freddy in Space, Foxy.exe, Foxy Fighters, Dee Dee's Fishing Hole, and finally, Chica's Magic Rainbow Land. So let's start with Freddy in Space. In this game, you are exploring in space-like levels, shooting enemies and avoiding hazards. You are trying to survive while gathering upgrades, which are the cupcakes. You move left, right, jump, and shoot with your blaster. And the levels get harder each time. But this minigame wasn't too bad in my opinion. Now, we'll move over to Foxy.exe. The name and presentation are a parody of EXE horror games like the infamous Sonic.exe, where a familiar character appears as a corrupted creepypasta style version. In this case, Foxy is turned into a giant pixelated glitch virus enemy. You'll fight him during the glitched minigame sequences, which are necessary for unlocking new content in Update 2. This minigame wasn't also that bad. It was pretty much easy. You just had to move as Bonnie and avoid the cats and withered Freddy. However, Dee Dee's Fishing Hole wasn't too bad either, and yes, most of them are decent, but some of them are truly rage bait. This is a minigame / shop run by Dee Dee, the character introduced in FNAF World. When you interact with Dee Dee, you can pay 10 fast tokens to play her fishing game, and the goal is to catch the pearl, and once catched, it comes as a trophy. Foxy Fighters is a retro shooting minigame in the style of Star Fox. Instead of RPG combat, you fly through space in fighter ships with Foxy and his crew, and once you complete it, you get a new character. But the next minigame is the worst of them all. This is Chica's Magic Rainbow Land, and the goal is simple on paper. Race against Chica's Magic Rainbow, a giant rainbow that moves across the screen. However, this rainbow is secretly the devil. You must navigate through deadly traps while the rainbow constantly insults you with voice lines. And 9-year-old me nearly broke my computer because of the rainbow. And the thing is, I never got to beat this minigame in my life. But the thing is, you can still complete this game without doing any of the minigames. What about you? Do you think FNAF World is underrated? Or do you still see it as the odd one out? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more deep dive into the weird side of gaming. Thanks for watching. have to tell you something. I like FNAF World.
We do not care.
Wait.